isn't a computer, you can operate it somewhat, but like all of our stuff is Windows based. And, you know, that's a little bit of an issue when they start incorporating the Apple, plus there's no security on those things.
Well, there's more than just iPhones too, I mean, there's
Right.
other.
Yeah, that's what.
Notebooks or.
And also, I mean, the efficiency is one thing, the time that, I mean, look at these books, the time that it's taken somebody, I know it's an expense, but, you know, somebody's having to do all that stuff. And Jim, and, you know, and the paper, and the books, I mean, there's a lot of things to, I don't think it's,
Well, couldn't the notebook or the little thing do the same thing
the
as an iPad?
Yeah,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
yeah, there, I
You
mean,
mean
and
the
there's
Windows-based?
tablets out there for
Right.
$300-400, they don't all have to be the
No,
$700 or $800 iPad, but.
Can you bring us some prices?
Sure.
yeah, I think that would be good,
I
just
mean,
look, I mean,
this
it's
is
not,
this
The
is, like I
community
said, a
they
first
wanted
step.
more technology.
Yeah, this is a step, this is, I mean, you know, we gotta get on board or we're gonna get left behind.
Oh, so
the
when
other
you're
thing,
not
we
here, we
can
can do the
get our
FaceTime.
Facebook page
Yeah.
up
When
there
we're
and
doing
do
this,
it.
yeah.
See
I could
what's happening.
FaceTime from my tree stand.
There we go.
Okay, well, that wasn't what I had in mind.
I was gonna say, and not when you're driving either, you're pulling up as you're driving.
All right.
What not to do.
Board policy update.
As I was going through looking for the policies in the weight room, I came across this policy that I have in here that just needs to be updated. Had Dr. Paul's name and our old address on there. And I guess just it's a no-brainer, we just put superintendent of schools and our current address on there. Employment opportunity, non-discrimination policy.
I'll make a motion, we amend GAAA.
I would second it.
It's been moved second, any discussion? All in favor? Anyone opposed? Carried. Let's see,
You guys started early again.
Smoky Hill Service Center,
Just received this today. Every 5 years, the districts that are part of the service center have to, I guess, re-up with the interlocal plan. We are a charter member, have been ever since it was Fort Hays. Well, it was Fort Hays Service Center, Educational Service Center. As you're aware, we have a lot of services through Smoky Hill as far as professional development as well as others. We did some bus training through them this year. The consulting that we get with our networking from Sean, a lot of those types of services through Smoky Hill. So I would recommend that we go ahead and approve the interlocal agreement. It's partially based on FTE. I should know what that runs. It's like $6,000 a year or something like that, or is it that high? I think I don't know exactly. There's so much FTE. And like I say, it's pretty much invaluable as far as professional development that we get through them. And looking at other service centers around, we're also a member of Southwest Plains through the Oakland Service Center. I mean, we don't pay dues to the Southwest, but as far as costs, they're very reasonable compared to other service centers around as far as daily rates and that sort of thing.
So we need a motion to approve the interlocal agreement?
Yeah, if you want to do that, or if you want to wait till next month and take a look through it, but my recommendation wouldn't change because it's the closest one to us and they provide a good service.
Has any of the agreement changed? I mean, is all this the same as it has been in the past?
Yeah, it's all exactly the same. The only difference is on that very back page, as far as property. There were some districts, I think Salina and maybe Gypsum and Abilene, maybe, I can't remember for sure, that when they purchased buildings in Salina for the service center, they put money into that. So if the service center would happen to dissolve, they would have some property interest in those properties. No other property they have is owned by any districts. So if it dissolved, it would just be like any other business, it'd be sold off. And I don't see that happening.
I'm okay with it.
Need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
It's been moved. Second, any discussion? All in favor? Anyone opposed?
I would say, I forgot to mention, if you're interested, they sent this packet along that kind of explains a lot of their services. If you'd like to look through it, you're welcome to, but I didn't copy it for you.
Okay, the next item, we do not have a policy on. Stan, do you have anything to,
I might, is that the weight room?
well, both of the,
You need like a break, they go.
Take a supper break?
yeah, let's, we'll
Because
do that.
I've kind of forgotten about that, but I did do some work on it, so I have some,
Let's take a
some.
break and then we'll let Mr. Hipples put together
For
his.
you guys, these are some raisins that I picked up at the show that you can get, and they're flavored. This is they're raisins, orange burrs, take your
They're
handful.
golden raisins.
They're golden raisins, this is
And I don't like lemon.
We
a
had,
sour lemon,
we had to rent a U-Haul to get Janet out of the
this
excavator.
is
She
a
had
watermelon
4
shot.
bags full of stuff,
That's-
loaded up.
I mean, you know, if you're gonna go to and then, I mean, try them.
Did Carl that didn't want the lemon, or was that you had to do want the lemon? Cause they
I'm gonna
didn't
try
like
the
raisin.
watermelon.
I
Yeah.
don't like raisins.
It wouldn't be.
What you mean?
I had them. I
Did you
tried
even
it.
try one? Did you even try it? Oh, they will count as one fruit serving.
One?
Try- Yeah, one fruit serving.
Well,
Try the
yeah.
watermelon.
Is this for like lunches?
Yes, yeah.
Kids would eat that. Yeah. Carl wouldn't.
Carl wouldn't eat it, doubt if we'd have shoved it down his throat.
No, I think that's what was going on over there.
I didn't try the orange.
I could've caught him
That
holding him down.
watermelon's good.
You couldn't even get down the stairs. You
Well,
wouldn't-
this doesn't, Carl, it doesn't even taste like a raisin.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why,
You know, I've heard that a lot. No, you can't even taste it.
That's
My wife
what-
But
puts
is it,
One fruit serving. Yeah.
I mean, like,
What are the
in order to
ingredients?
get,
Is it Obama safe? you
well, I
think?
mean, in order to get those flavorings, they'd have to change it some, and so it's like, what are they doing to change it?
I have all the
You ever
facts.
seen
did
this-
the lemon,
you ever
did
seen
the
the
lemon
Skittles
taste like a
commercial?
lemon drop?
It just pops out of a rainbow.
I didn't taste the lemon.
Skills are healthy.
I know it in my bag. I have an orange. Told me to grab.
Yes, I have my apple.
Well, it's like, you know, Mountain Dew, you're not supposed to drink Mountain Dew because it's like
What was it?
What was the name of that
a
place?
flammable, whatever it is about Mountain Dew.
Remember you guys thought that was a drug test?
Yeah. Was it a drug? Yeah, it was a drug test. I was thinking it was either drug test or
It's-
pregnancy test.
It's hand sanitizer. And it was at a drug testing place though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I thought
TMHC.
this was, yeah. I thought it was a drug test. I'm like, oh, you guys, it's a drug test.
Lots of sugar.
Go take it.
I like the one that,
TMHC is the company that we're with.
is that who we're,
Yeah.
and then they were looking at artificial turf down there and,
Oh, here's the name of it.
and Carl told Tommy we're gonna have to buy a
I
special
don't know how
lawnmower.
or why it got ripped.
He's like, it grows!
Only when it rains. So we wouldn't have to worry about
It's
it.
a
Yeah.
thing. There's a lot
I
of
said.
stuff out there.
That, on that artificial turf, what would
Yeah,
you
they just
think,
ship it.
stand in the dirt around this part of the
Is there a
country?
lot of sugar?
Second.
You know, filling it up
Golden raisins.
and not having anything, they said, well, that was how you maintained it, you had to put sand in
But they're
it.
good.
Yeah, put it in there and drag it around.
And this is something that they recommend goes up in all schools for bullying.
I don't know, we might have it, I don't know, you can order them.
Oh, it's the bullying one.
Bullying is more than physical, verbal bullying is the worst.
Cyberbullying's probably the worst.
Cyberbullying and verbal bullying. There's the, this is the PowerPoint on it. It's the only one I got a PowerPoint thing in. Yeah, I gotta teach these guys how to go through a vendor's thing. They don't have a clue.
No, I hate taking stuff off of, she didn't mind. She was just loading up.
Usually you have to talk to them.
Not her, she just went out, took her, took her
Well, you
fourth
wait
thing out.
until there's like a group of people and they're talking to them, and then you go grab the stuff and take off.
Yeah,
What are you getting before?
Oh, age, cold weather, and mixed is not.
don't
a
even
thing.
start.
Me, me, cold weather, don't even go.
One of the things I was gonna tell you guys that I didn't, when we were talking about it, there was a website that they showed us. IPSR,
Small.
excuse my writing, I'll scan it up and hold it right at the same time.
KU.
That's why it's around.
The guy, the presenter was a K-State grad, and he said the same thing. I don't know why I'm telling you guys this, but KU has some really good stuff on there.
Who is that telling you
I
that?
think I'm gonna throw this orange out, send it out in my car.
Which guy that was? It was,
Oh, the finance one? The,
yes. It has 57 pages of data for every county in the state. I mean, everything. It's incredible.
That'll either be really interesting.
Yeah. Pack a lunch and drink some coffee. But, you know, you can, I don't know, there's lots and lots and lots of stuff. You know, if you wanna compare your mill levels and stuff, to everybody's around you, total evaluation. That you-
Well, I have to say, everything I went to was interesting, it wasn't, you know, I got a little bit of something
Yeah.
out of everything.
I'd say the least one was probably the highway patrol one,
Mhm.
but.
Because like we talked, he was referring back to
Yeah.
the older stuff, not.
Yeah. He gave a presentation on school violence, and not once did he mention Sandy Hook. His whole presentation was Columbine and the Virginia Tech shooting. Didn't say anything about Sandy Hook. So I'm thinking, yeah, he probably wrote his presentation about 2 years ago. Changed it.
It's updated.
Yeah.
I don't remember, what did he say, when he got into the, public, in the, you know, the,
Oh, yeah, it was a while ago, wasn't it? Like 4 or 5 years ago, or 7 years or something. He's been a highway patrolman for over 20, I think he said, but.
you know, in that facilities, one I went to,
Mm-hmm.
2 of the 3 that talked, that was part of their improvements, was they all put, you know how when we walked in, then you, and
The
then.
double doors and.
Yeah, you had to go
yeah,
through the office to get into school,
Yeah.
that's the way, that's part, 2 of the 3, that's what their, part of their improvements were.
I think I'd
Safety.
still like to do that here, at least at the grade school, I think it's.
But the problem is, we don't have any way to direct them through the office.
No, but you could still make it, that second one secure, where they gotta be buzzed in.
You know,
You'd have to do something with glass doors.
What's that?
You have to do something with all the glass doors, you have to put bars in them or half doors.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah, they're just
they're
going
gonna, I
to.
mean, I still think some of them are gonna come in, because they have to be down there on the north entrance or.
Yeah, that's the, yeah, I agree, it's hard to say that, yeah,
They're locked with their glass.
right.
Well, I think in any case, if somebody wants in bad enough, they're gonna find a way in, it's just if we can minimize,
Where
you know,
they
slow them
go.
up or.
Get the warning out quick enough.
Yeah, but it'd still be nice to screen who enters.
Oh,
I mean, maybe they're not gonna shoot anybody up or anything like that, but to just have the front door open, if Melanie's got her back turned or something, they can just walk right in right now.
Well, there's a lot of other harm that people can do to kids that doesn't require shooting them.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. Just talking about the music, this, Valley Center, they added a, digital, aspect to their music program, where the kids do digital music, and they do it on their phones, and then an iPad and a computer, and then they, they have different projects with it, and they said that they went from, what'd he say about this music, sections, they hardly had enough to fill them, now he can't make enough of them.
Yeah.
Just because the kids that don't wanna go sing, but like music and are tech savvy, he said it went nuts. I mean, he can't have enough sections of it, which is good. They showed us two of their projects, and they were awesome. It was really neat.
I think the most difficult part of the whole transition would be the teachers as far as getting them.
For sure. But this guy said he didn't know nothing about it when he started.
Yeah, he actually said that Apple, did he say they sent people out and trained?
Yep.
How
And
to
he
use
does
these?
all his stuff
Well, it
with
means
free
money for them
apps.
when they can sell more
Yeah,
iPads and more.
Usually, because
more
I hate to say
technology.
that.
No, that's exactly right.
They'll
though.
show you how to
That's the
use
whole
it.
point of the thing. Where are we going, and what do we need to be doing to our kids? That's what we need to be doing, because that's where it's going.
Yep.
And it just,
Well, didn't he say they have 12 iPads and 12 computers, is that right? And
yeah,
like in a class of 24, you'd have 12 on the iPads.
yeah.
But the iPad project, they had to have two different projects going at one time, because the iPad projects would not, at that time, transfer over onto the computer, because there's no flash drive on an iPad. You can't just, work on it and save it and take it over to the computer. And then the iPad software only had 8 tracks, digital tracks, like shared around saxophone, blah, blah, blah. But the one on the computer, the software on that had 24 tracks. And they were,
He said the most amazing thing was the type of kids that he reached,
Oh, yeah.
through this. It was just, it was kids
The ones
that-
you wouldn't think that would go
Yeah,
out
I
for
mean, they
music.
just
or-
went nuts over it, and I gotta
Teach the
say,
kids that there's more positive in the technology than the negative. And the
Well,
drama
that's-
Well,
that,
and there's productive uses of technology,
Right.
and not just, let's text my friend who's sitting right next to me, all the
Mhm.
time of this nonsense, let's
but,
have productive.
kids have also have used notepads to write notes and pass around, it's just a matter of,
Of channeling that energy where it needs to be instead of, encouraging them others to do it.
I think kids are gonna do whatever they want now anyways. I think we've seen that over the last 10 years, that's just, kids graduating from college, you don't have a job, fine, I'm not gonna do anything then, I'll just sit here and collect government assistance or whatever until something, that's just the mentality of kids these days. They're gonna search for their bliss in whatever they want to do. You're not gonna tell any of them what to do.
And one of the neat things was, about the same time, there was about 3 or 4 guys says, well, how do you control what happens if they're doing something they're not supposed to? And the guy says, well, you tell your teacher to get her butt out of the chair, his or her butt out of the chair, and you walk around and monitor what they're doing. That's how you prevent them doing stuff in class they're not supposed to.
And pretty much if they got it like this and they see you get up and they go like this,
Yeah.
you know you got an issue.
Dead giveaway.
All technology can be traced, so if you think that a kid is having problems, you can go in and see what they're doing, exactly where they're going, what they're doing with that throughout the entire class period. If you really are concerned and you wanna know.
Yeah, they,
Didn't he have a deal that he could see what all the kids were doing? His computer could see where these kids were
Well,
going on
that-
some of those.
that was on the class that I think every student had an iPad.
Right.
Which was pretty, they was well ahead of the curve. But the other ones, he simply said, the teacher gets up
Old fashioned.
and yeah, I mean, you get
Walk
up
around
and
the
you
room.
walk around and look.
Look at their
where-
screen.
I
what
think
they
all
do.
kids like to create something, like their music. When they're done, they have something, they have
That's
something
exactly,
unique.
and that's what I took away from that.
It's
is
visual, it's
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
project oriented, when they're done, they had something, they had a report that showed where they started, what they did to get there,
When you were, before I got here, did you mention anything about recording the
Oh.
lessons?
yeah,
You said something about that?
we did talk about that.
We
Yeah,
did.
about,
How you could record the lesson and then the kid could go back and look at it as many times as they want to get the,
To make sure they understand it.
yeah, he said, he'd pick somebody out, of course, they all had their devices, and he'd say, I want you to record this for me today, and so they would record the lesson, and then when they was done, he would get it out so that every student could or parent could access it.
well, did we,
Yeah, that was an important thing, so the parent could watch it at night while they're helping their kid with their homework.
Said record me.
Still not that
Yeah,
many.
yeah,
thank
It's not a
you.
need,
Yeah,
actually.
you got it forever.
right.
And then it also backs the teacher up, where they can't say, you're not teaching my kid, well, yeah, here
Well,
I
he
am.
had a
Yeah,
website or
here's
a
Class
Was
lesson
it
for today and yesterday.
YouTube or a,
They got their own YouTube site.
but I mean, didn't he have a deal we could go to his,
Kevin Honeycutt, something. Right?
You can put them on podcasts on iTunes too.
Yeah,
Duke, Cambridge, all those colleges, put them on podcasts.
another example was preschool or kindergarten, she showed how to make a letter F, so what she did was, she filmed herself doing it so that the parent knew what language, what they would call, so that the parents was teaching the same thing as the kid.
she did that on her own, the teacher did that on her own, not,
On her own Facebook page.
Right.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on
It's
her.
something to think about. Makes sense.
There
I
was
think
some
that wouldn't be
good
that
ideas.
hard to put into place, even with just the technology that we have, it's not like we have to go get new technology,
Well, that's like
We
I
already
was,
have it and
that's
we
what
just
we was
use it.
talking about, like the music thing. If you just got one iPad and one Mac or one computer, and just start somewhere, whether that would be we start in the 5th, 6th grade with developing some of it, or, it would just be neat to see our kids, get that kind of, doing that kind of thing.
The third graders provided gingerbread men and ornaments for the trees.
see, we could put that on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
That is exactly the kind of thing he's talking about. It wasn't all sports, he put very few sports things, it was the things that didn't get the notoriety that the good things the schools are doing that no one knows,
What third grade would you want to see that?
Yeah, they'd be awesome if they seen your work.
Bring them over here every year.
Oh, the gingerbread houses?
No, they made their little ornaments this year.
Did you know they did that?
No, I didn't. I'll have to
We
check
both
that.
have third graders, and I never seen it. Oh, yeah, you did too.
Okay, so take them, their names are on the back, and you need to find them. Take a picture with your phone and say, what's your third grader's name?
Mine's Ben.
Ben, Caleb, and Georgia.
They're not up there. The only one's not up there.
Did we already?
They drew other pictures. Maybe they did those over there.
Yeah, they're all in the same class. Maybe they did these
I
ones.
don't know where it was.
Are they really all the same class?
I skipped over it all.
Well, these don't have names on them. Or, I can't, wait a minute, there's a GEP and a KO and a GB.
That's Georgia, GB, or Grace Beaker.
EH, TB, AW,
See, now I could take a picture of that and have it on my Facebook page before we're done, but I don't know what good that would be. They'd be like, huh.
You don't have any friends anyway.
I know, that's why I said, I don't know what good. Okay, but that's a good point, I like that, that's exactly what I think that would be for. And, you know, in our strategic planning meeting, we talked about almost everything come back to the community and the students' involvement, and so I think it all would tie together. Good.
An important part of the message that I got, that I took out of it was, you don't necessarily, you know, be humble, but don't toot your teacher's horn, don't toot the administration's horn, toot the kids' horn, drag your kids up.
Yeah, this is what we're doing,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, they mentioned, you don't wanna, that's what the patting on the back and all that, but
Yeah.
you do wanna let people know.
Still,
Okay, on the additions, I think I skipped over, Chris Petty's, resignation. Need to, have a motion to accept that.
He said 6 months.
And that did say, now, right, or immediate?
It doesn't say immediately, but
So I've accepted another job.
He's moving in 2 weeks, so.
he's moving in 2 weeks.
Yeah, the 21st is what he had on Facebook.
Okay,
so
so,
we don't replace him right away, or
yeah,
we do?
we do, and we'll need to talk about that too. But we need to,
I move we accept his resignation.
it's been moved.
Second.
Second, any discussion? All in favor?
I thought we were discussing, that's what we were doing.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Now then, we have some options as far as what we do there. Typically, I think it's advertised for applications, and then we bring those back to board, and we ultimately appoint somebody.
Oh, really, we get a pick?
Yeah.
To the position.
How long do we advertise?
I think
Couple
that's
weeks
probably
last
up to
time.
us if we,
Wasn't it, Mr. Hickle?
What?
Wasn't very long last time, it was
Well,
like
the-
couple
Well,
weeks.
the statute doesn't specify amount of time, you're supposed to do it in a prudent manner, so it doesn't have to be my next month, but, it needs to be.
That's what I say, if we
no
run it in
less
the
than 2
paper
weeks for sure.
Right.
today, or tomorrow and next week's,
We're not gonna get in.
Tomorrow.
Why?
Got to wait.
It's already done.
I think
Monday,
it's
you gotta have
good.
him Monday at noon now, I think. And he kinda.
We could do it for 3 weeks and have him back by the 13th, we could do it for 4 weeks.
If we,
You can do it various ways, I guess. If you want them to submit some kind of a letter explaining why they would like to be on the board, you can do that. You can have them just submit their name, and then you can decide from that. You can have them come and interview. come to a board meeting and tell you why they would like to be on the board. I mean, it's really up to whatever you want to do, how you want to do it.
I have a question. If we only have one person interested, we don't necessarily think that person, are we obligated to take them?
No. I don't think so.
Well, I think we gotta fill the position, but we can, that's, you know, at that point, that's when you, hey, you know, we need some.
We'll go out and seek other people.
Well, we need to get some interest, you know, as far as.
Need to advertise that it's available.
Well, that, and I think it'd be like Stan said, you know, if we have it in, our meeting's on the 13th, they have to be in by noon on the 10th.
I think we should be able to go over it the 6th at our special meeting.
Well,
I wouldn't rush it that much. My suggestion would be to put it in the paper, you know, with the intent of making a decision at the February meeting.
I agree. Take
and I think
applications till
it would be
January
nice to
31st.
have something saying, I mean, we don't wanna make it so hard that
Right.
no one will do it, but
Just
I'd
a
like to
name
know
and
why they're,
why they
they're-
wanna be
why
on
they're
it.
running.
I can tell them we'll give them an iPad.
Loan them.
That's what I'm.
Starting them rumors.
You guys gotta get off that iPad. Tablet.
Tablet, that's what I'm.
It's a little short. No,
Just,
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a letter of interest.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be good. That
Write
would
your
give us
name and a
little
letter
bit
of interest to the PTA office.
and we need to have a deadline.
January 31st.
Yes. So it's the